Well, hello, let's talk soul line dance family. What's up, Marquise?
Hey, what's going on, Zandra? How you doing?
I am well. How are you?
I'll be all right soon after this hour's up.
No, what are you talking about, man? This is this is the highlight of your day. What you talking about?
Yeah, right. That's what it is. Yep. You ain't never lied. Nah, man. I'm good, man. We just got off the flight, literally. So I'm excited. By the way, a lady from the history says she got to give you one of those Let's Talk band or history, line dance history bands, if anything. So she ain't forget about you. She told me to tell you that, by the way.
You know what? I appreciate that, Marquise. Thank you. Thank you. Did she give you one?
I already had one. I been had one, actually.
Okay.
I think you need to type it. Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
So how was UC for you?
Man, it was amazing seeing all the fam, everybody, man. The love it was awesome, definitely, and I was grateful, to be able to see everybody. I had some people call us out on this talk. They called us out on this. They called us out on these challenges. Some of them tried to jump us too, man. I ain't gonna lie. So
okay,
rich men. Anyways.
Okay, I was about to say, you can't mess with Team Raw.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna put this out. Nicole and they were trying to jump me too. Nicole and Chris Blue, they were gonna jump me for whatever reason. I don't know why. I didn't do anything. I was innocent.
You don't know why?
I was innocent.
Yeah, right. What's your name?
Marquise.
Oh, okay. And you what?
I was innocent.
Okay. Okay, if you say so. Hey, Melva. Huh?
I said it was a lot of love. They definitely gave honor to those that we lost throughout the time. They recognized everybody that did a lot, support throughout the shutdown. And so that was a great emotional event, if anything else. So we definitely enjoyed ourselves.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Well, hey, look at there. There go our girl Melva, always representing.
What up, Melva? Trying to get money. What up, Melva?
Y'all better be paying attention because we're gonna do 2 trivia questions today, okay?
All right.
Natalie Cox.
Mm-hmm.
And getting around.
Hey man, I'm trying to get on other people's level, like the amazing, famous, popular James Carr. You know what I'm saying? So I got always to go.
Isn't he amazing? The first time I met him was at Wendy's event in Augusta.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, he's really good.
I
I
know.
love the way he was instructing because I was in the back. So he was in the back and I'm like, you better count these things down. He was just directing with just very little effort.
Yeah.
So, hi, James. Thank you so much for tuning in. Give your wife our love. And to our girl, Carla.
Carla, how you
Carla
doing,
from
Carla?
London. London, baby, is
Nice.
in the house. Yes, almost midnight there.
Yup. That's what's
Yes.
faithful.
So we gotta give a shout out to our the host of this show who's
Mhm.
absent,
All right.
Queen Sheila.
Yes.
Please continue to pray for her. She is ready to come back.
Mhm.
We're ready to see her back here well.
Right.
And but in the meantime, we're gonna hold it down and please continue to pray for her speedy recovery in the name of Jesus.
Right. Right. Amen.
Um, okay, so y'all know what?
What's up?
Did y'all like room 112?
Yeah, I learned it actually. mm, At TCH. We learned it. We were supposed to demo it. They left us out though. It's all good. We love y'all still. We need to talk about that.
Ah, yes, yes. Well, you are in for a treat, and I'm excited to learn more about our guest today. So, right now, I'm bringing her in.
What up, though?
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
I'm good. I had class today, so I'm a little tired, but I'm good.
So good. I'm glad you was able to make it this evening. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. You look so cute. I
Thank
love
you.
that red, that cream, or red. Is that red and white?
Red and white.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Love
just
it.
want to say thank you for the invite. It's an honor. Thank you.
Definitely,
Thank
definitely.
you for accepting.
You're welcome.
And so tell us, first of all, tell us who is DeMeria? SeGuan.
Uh-oh.
um, DeMeria SeGuan is a creative soul who is not afraid to try almost anything. My mom raised me to believe that if you can believe it, you can achieve it. So people have called me Renaissance woman, but I'm a creative individual. I am a mother of two children. I have a son in college. He just went to North Carolina A&T. And my daughter is in middle school, and she's a dancer. And just thank you to those who are supporting her fundraiser right now. She's in company for the first time, so I'm trying to, push her dreams and let her go do what she does. But I'm a teacher. I'm an artist. I have an art business. I teach art to elementary school children, and I love teaching. And line dancing was something that came into my life when I needed it. I was going through some stuff, as most of us, that's our testimony, and it saved me. It really did. So,
Wow.
Okay. How were you introducing to the line dance community? How were you introducing to that?
you want to know how I learned about line dancing or the community?
The community. Both.
Both.
Give us both. Give us both.
Okay. So before I got married, I was invited to a wedding in Detroit, one of my really good friends. And at her bachelorette party, we went to this club, and it's like every song came on, these people were dancing a group. And I'm like, what is this? And
Mhm.
she told me, oh, we're hustling. And I said, well, what is this? At the time, I was living in Texas, and there was nothing that I knew of similar other than country western line dancing.
Okay.
So for years, I'm searching, what is this? Where can I find it? Where can I find it? Well, I ended up marrying someone who was from Detroit. And he says, oh, that's hustling. And I'm like, okay, where can I do it? Where can I do it? So fast forward, probably, I think I went to that wedding in 97. We started stepping, and I went to Class Act stepping event. And lo and behold, Tiff Nicole and Erica were teaching after the stepper set. And I was like, oh my God, that's it, that's it, that's it. And he had taken me on purpose so that I could connect into the line dance community.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I couldn't join class act because that was a day that I needed to stay home with the kids. So I started going to classes, with Destiny Line Dancers.
Mhm.
And that's kind of what started my path of line dancing in Atlanta.
Okay. And then when did the teaching part come into play?
Um, so I started dancing with Vicky probably around 2012. And we used to go to this place called Jolie's.
Mhm.
And one of the students, one of the guys there, he came up to me. He said, there's this gym looking for a line dance instructor. Are you interested? I said, well, I don't teach. He
Mhm.
said, but you should call them. So I called and, they asked me if I would teach. And me being a newbie, I reached out to Vicky. I said, Vicky, they want me to teach. Can you teach me what I need to do? And again, I was new, so I didn't know that it wasn't okay necessarily in some people's eyes for you to branch out and do something different. Because for me, I just wanted to dance. I just wanted to teach people how to do what I do.
Mhm.
So they hired me to come in, and I started teaching there. About a week later, a popcorn cafe. I was teaching art classes there, and he said, what else do you teach? And I said, line dancing. He said, oh my God, I've been wanting line dancing here. He said, I'll pay you $50 to come in every Friday to teach.
Mhm.
And so a year later, I started teaching, and I haven't stopped. I wanted to, but I didn't stop.
Yeah, yeah. I think I remember that time frame. You kind of spoke about it. Did you do that? I think it was on Facebook or something. You was kind of contemplating.
Well, I've contemplated quitting choreography. I've
Mhm.
contemplated quitting throwing the parties.
Why
It
you trying to run
wasn't,
away, girl? Why
hold
you
on now. It
okay?
wasn't until the pandemic hit that I actually thought about quitting teaching.
Okay.
Okay.
That was when I seriously, because I mean, we were all in a state of confusion. We didn't know. And I was like, oh, this is my out. And my students said, no, we need you. And that pulled me in.
Let me ask you about that. Um, are you trying to escape, find a exit route as far as from whether it's teaching, creating, and all
Line
that?
dancing,
Yeah.
not anymore.
Okay.
Not anymore. So the same pandemic that had me contemplate quitting is the same pandemic that has me 100% sold out.
What was it for you?
Got you.
It was people saying, don't quit. We need you.
Mm.
It was Stefan saying, why you gonna stop teaching? So for those who don't know, he was my first mentor.
Okay.
James Carr that's my brother. He has been with me through thick and thin. So that's another one of my mentors.
Mm.
But Stefan mentioned something about going teaching virtual. I was like, what? Who did what? I didn't never heard of Zoom, didn't know anything. So I did my research, reached out to a few students. I said, okay, if we could do virtual, would you? They were like, yes, please, please, please. And it was during that time people didn't want to stop. I think people were afraid, and we were afraid to go out. So
Mhm.
I invested in Zoom and started teaching, and the testimonies from the people of how what I do affect their lives and
Mhm.
how what I've been doing for years has impacted their. It was a wake up call for me because I didn't realize how many lives I was really impacting.
Gotcha.
And since the pandemic, I've had my parties throughout, I've taught throughout,
Mhm.
I choreographed throughout. And
Right.
like a lot of people, it was an escape. It was a way to just kind of keep going.
Mhm.
Um, but since 2020, it's been really interesting to see how many lives I've impacted
Mhm.
through line dancing. And as a result, I really believe that God always gives us a purpose, and this is one of my many purposes.
Mhm.
And so until He tells me to stop, or
Amen.
until my body shuts down completely,
Mhm.
or I'm not going to have a funeral until it's all over.
Right. Right.
I'm sold out. I'm going to keep doing me. I'm going to do it my way,
Mhm.
um, like it or not. And I'm just going to continue to love on the people who love me.
That's what's up.
Awesome. I love that. So, do you have a group?
No, no, I don't have a group. I've never really been a part of a group. So when I started taking class with Destiny,
Mhm.
unbeknownst to me, if you were taking class and it was a group, you were in the group.
Right. Right.
So because I didn't sign up for a group necessarily, and I saw some of the dynamics of it, when I did start teaching independently, I just decided I'm independent. And it's interesting because when I first kind of started teaching, there was a collective body of us. We would go wherever we could just to line dance. And one of my students at the time, Kwatika, the one over Saturday Sliders, she was like, "Girl, we gotta get a group. We got you know group." She was like, "Come on, come up with a T-shirt." I said, "But I don't want a group." She was like, "Whatever. It's more than two of us coming together. We're a group." So I came up with me being an artist. I came up with a little logo, and it was CREW. It stood for Collectively Rolling Everywhere We Can to Line Dance. And so, although we weren't a group, we were a force. And so, for the longest, people would say, "Oh, the crew is in the house. DeMeria's group, the crew." And I kept saying, "We're not a group. We're not a group. We're not a group."
Right.
And I opened the Facebook page, The Crew, because I wanted it to be a mission, a place where people could come and learn about the line dance community. Because when I first came in, it was similar to what most people go through.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing, no disrespect to my teacher at the time, but I would ask, "Where can I go dance? And she would go to events, but not necessarily tell us." And so I met Curtis Good through Bam Bam.
Okay.
And Curtis introduced me to Universal. And when I saw Universal line dancing and found out about all of these national events, my travel buddy Victoria, we traveled once a month, going any and everywhere, went to everything local that we could. So I made it my personal mission to try to educate as many people who didn't know what the real line dance world was like. Now, I didn't know the community the way that I know it now. I just knew that it was bigger than going to that class once a week.
Right.
So then, right before the pandemic, because of the whole stigma of it's the crew, the group, I said, "No, it's a class. So let me just name it Dancing with DeMeria," because that's my focus. Any and every, I don't care if you're salsa dancing, cha-cha, ballroom, stepping, because I do a little bit of all of those. I'm like, I'll just be Dancing with DeMeria. That way, whatever dance I do, that's what I do.
Okay.
You are gifted.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Sandra.
You are so gifted. So, how did you get into drawing? What?
I've been drawing my whole life. I didn't take a class until probably middle school, but I would literally draw clothing. I thought I wanted to be a fashion designer. I drew my prom dress. My mom is a seamstress. She made it. So it was that kind of thing. If I saw it, I would draw it. So I've been drawing my entire life. I didn't become what you would consider a professional artist, so to speak, until I painted a mural in my son's room when I was pregnant. And I didn't go to school for art. I'm an engineer. I'm an electronics engineer by education. I'm an artist by birth. And so that's kind of where that went. I was pregnant with him in 2003, and that's when I really started my art business. And I've been doing my art business for that long, and started teaching as an art paraprofessional, and now I'm a certified art teacher in elementary. So, like I said, my thing is, and I've always said this, God, you guide me. If you don't take me there, I don't go. If you don't send me the customer, that's not my customer. If you don't send me the student, those aren't my students. Sometimes we lose focus of that, but that's always been my commitment to him.
Right.
When you tell me, I listen, I do what you say.
Right.
And sometimes it's confusing, but I still do it.
Right.
That's who I am. And it's funny with the dancing. Growing up, I've always danced. I took 2 years of ballet, but as far as being like popular dancing, doing the Reebok and all that stuff, my cousins would make fun of me. They would say, "You can't dance," because I didn't know all of but I could dance.
So you didn't have a swag to it. You was more.
I guess in their world, because I wasn't doing, and I've never been. I don't do what everybody else is doing. I don't follow the crowd.
Okay.
I don't. If you've ever seen me at an event, you may see me pop here, but I'm usually by myself.
Right.
or with one or two other people, but I've never been a follower. If everyone else was going right, I would go left. If everyone was running to the fight, I was going the other way.
Okay.
And so I wasn't doing it the way they thought I should. But the irony in it is now they're all like, oh my God, you're a great dancer. And I'm like, thank you. None of them dance.
So, are you the only child?
No, I'm the oldest. I have two younger brothers.
Okay.
One that I grew up with and one that's a half brother.
Is there a big age group?
9 years.
Okay.
9 years. But my biological brother, we are very close.
Okay.
Very close.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see.
And I don't want to say biological because the other one is biological, but the one that my mom gave birth to.
Got it.
I grew up with. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm just trying to see, how is it that your mindset has always been, no, I'm going to stand out by not blending in with everyone?
It was the way I was raised. My granddad was a preacher. And my mom was the complete opposite of a typical preacher's kid.
Okay.
She never went to clubs. She never drank. She did the complete opposite of what her siblings would do. And there's nothing wrong with club. I dance, I drink, whatever. But my mom was that perfect preacher's kid. And when you are following the guidance from a parent who is going the opposite direction, you don't have a choice. And she drilled into me, you will not stand out and be unique if you're doing what everybody else is doing. She always told me that. She said, you're special. Find your unique specialness in what you do, how you dress. She made my clothes growing up. It didn't feel good because I wanted to wear the same popular stuff but looking back on what I wore, my mom's a killer seamstress. But when you have kids making fun of you, it doesn't feel good.
Right.
You know? And so that's where it came from. It's something my mom instilled in me, and my grandmother, she was a seamstress. So it's my family. They've always just kind of done their own thing.
Love it. Love it. That takes courage. That takes strength.
It does.
A lot. And it's amazing how, yes. And it's amazing how a lot of times growing up in life, we may be talked about, picked on, and sometimes people can allow those things to affect them in a negative way. But instead of you doing that, I see where you chose to do the opposite.
Right.
And I love it.
No, let me fix that. It affected me very negatively. I just somehow have inside of me diligence and the ability to push through. Even as an adult, I experience and have experienced things that don't feel good.
Right.
But the one thing my mom told me was the day you quit is the day that you end. So I just know I cannot quit. It may not feel good. And over time, I've come to learn that the more I deal with, the stronger I become. And now at the age of 51, I realize I've probably lived at least half my life. Some of that stuff don't really matter anymore.
Right.
My priorities are my children and my personal happiness. Just making sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do.
Love it. Love it. And well, you know what? I'm glad. I hate you had to go through those things, but I'm glad you did, because I love the lady that is before us on today.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. So, how long have you been creating dances?
I created my first dance 2013. I was asked to teach at Southside Steppers. They had I want to think it was called a March Madness, but Shaniqua Kenner, I think, is the one who initially invited me to teach. And one of the songs that I just always loved was DMX's Party Up. So that's my first dance. My first dance is called Parties Up. So there is a Party Up by Kathy and Katrina, but mine is Parties Up to DMX's Parties Up.
Okay. So these two different songs.
That was two totally different songs.
Okay.
Just a similar name.
Gotcha.
But that was my first choreography. And after that, because I'd never choreographed for dance before. I really enjoyed, because again, with that engineering side, the mathematics, breaking the song down. I used to sing in the choir, so I also know music. Yeah. Just being able to kind of dive into the song and peel back, okay, well, this has 8 counts, this has 16. It was that math. I was like, oh, this is fun. It's kind of quirky, but it was fun.
Right.
So I set a personal goal. I wanted to choreograph at least 1 dance per quarter. That was my personal mission.
Okay.
And my first 3 dances, so Party's Up, Dee's Step, to a song called Coattail by a girl. She was a little girl in the church that I used to sing in the choir at in Texas. She grew up, Dondria Nicole. Her mom sent me the music and I asked, can I choreograph? And so that's how I came up with that one. And then I did, I think Remix was my third one.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I love Biggie. So I got about 3 Biggie dances.
You love the Chicago step, if anything.
I love Chicago stepping. But I love Biggie. I love Erykah Badu. But I like the creativity behind taking a song and actually, first of all, it hits me when it's when that vibe hits you and it makes you want to move. That's the first thing. And then almost every dance I have has a story behind it. Okay. You ask me about a dance, there's a story behind it. But I got to a point where, a lot of times people say, well, it doesn't matter if people don't do my dances. It does matter. You want your dance played.
Thank you.
You want, especially when you know people are teaching it.
Yeah.
And people are coming up to you, I want to do your dance. I want to do your dance. And you leave and you don't do the dance. It gets frustrating. You want people to do it. And so for me, I kind of got to a place where I hit a wall and I said, you know what? I'm done. And there's a song by Christina Aguilera, Loving Me for Me. Every time I heard that song, I was like, oh my God, what's the name of that dance? What's the name? And there was no dance. So for about 6 months, I struggled with, I say it was God. Because one day it came on and I did the same thing. Oh my God. And I'm on YouTube searching. He said, it's yours. Now get up and get out of your funk and create this dance. And if you see the instructional actually, I didn't do an instructional. I barely did the video. It is recorded from the neck down. And there is no energy behind it. You can ask James. There's very little energy behind it. But it was me saying, okay, God, I hear what you're telling me to do. I don't want to do it. I'm tired. It hurts. He said, do it anyway. Okay. He said, and from this day forward, when you choreograph for you. If it's in your bones, if it's in your spirit, it doesn't matter if you don't do it anywhere other than your living room. Create. I gave you that gift. Create.
Okay. And I'm glad you said that because I was just having a conversation this weekend about, I hear when people say, they choreograph for themselves, they don't choreograph for other people. And then the next question, I was like, well, when you do choreograph for yourself, do you take in consideration other people being able to learn the dance? Or, you know what I mean? Like, do you try to make it extremely intricate so the point where only people that can do his dance is a special type of people? Or, you know what I mean? So that's why I'm kind of curious, what does that mean when someone says, I'll only choreograph for myself and not for others?
I can't speak for other people.
Okay.
Again, ultimately, you do want people on the floor with you. So when I say it, it's more so whether someone gets up and does it or not. But for me, a dance has to flow. The transitions need to make sense. It needs to be, to me, a dance that is to the point where you can break it down where a beginner can do it. And that's one of the things I've challenged myself to do. I don't care how intricate a dance is for the most part. If I can find modifications for my most basic level dancer, and I don't really like using beginner because people crutch on those labels. But if you can create a dance, for me personally, that can be taught to almost any level of student
Mm-hmm.
within a certain time. Now, if it's going to take 15 days to teach it, that's not a DeMeria dance.
Right.
A lot of people look at my dances and they think they're advanced. But honestly, if you look at, I guess, the definition or the description of advanced, most of my dances are intermediate.
Okay.
Most of them are they may have, kind of unconventional packaging, or you may have to think about what's next. Like remix is not a hard dance. It's basically Chicago stepping.
Right.
But you got to think.
Right.
So to answer that question, no, I'm not choreographing intricately for a certain group. It is whatever I am moved to do. Now, in the back of my mind, I see certain people, more specifically now, my students, those people who have let me know that they follow me. Those are the people I'm thinking, okay, how would they feel? How is this going to transition for them? Now, one of my most recent collaborations, Let 'Em Gossip with Connie Malone, that song is so out of anything I would have ever chosen, but she brought the song to me and she said, make a dance. I said, no, I'm not going to make a dance. You got to give me at least 8 counts and we'll collab on it.
Right. Exactly.
It was a fun dance, completely out of what would typically be my character.
Right.
But it pushed me to say, okay, what can I do with this that's different? So yeah,
there is
for me, so that I don't get caught up on, oh my God, will such and such like it? Was no, do I like it? That's what it means more so.
So there is a question I want to ask. All right, so you got to forgive me. It was a dance you did with Jansen over there in M10. It was a slow one.
Broken Cycle.
Yes, I love the music. I love it.
I didn't do it at Jansen. I was at Jansen's when I debuted it.
Correct.
Yes.
That's why I saw it, because I remember him. I was in the video and everything else. A few other people. And the question I wanted to ask was that based off of that one, and then Handle with Care, excuse me, and then ILI, would you say from the choreographer standpoint, when they make dances and the song selections that they make, does it kind of give insight oftentimes of where a person mentally are or emotionally are in that state?
Every choreographer is different.
Okay.
That's like trying to put round holes in it. We're all different.
Okay.
Like I said, for me, every single dance has a story behind it.
Right.
For me, Broken Cycle was the start of my new storytelling.
Okay.
All of my dances tell stories. If you really pay attention to what I choreograph to, whether it's lyrically, or the way that it's packaged, it tells a story about my life. So Broken Cycle was that place. You get to a fork in the road and you have a decision to make. You're going left or right. And I haven't choreographed the same since.
What was
ILI was another one.
So what was Handle with Care? What was that? Where did that come from?
Handle with Care. So it's interesting. A friend of mine that we didn't really date, but we were close like that. He sent me the song. He said, why don't you create a dance to this? And I was like, I think it's a dance already to it. And I was sitting at work one day and it came on Pandora. I was like, whoa, I think that's the song. So I searched, there were no dances. And I listened to the lyrics. I said, you better bet I'm going to, because you did not handle me with care when you did have access to me. So that was the story behind that one.
So I got a confession. I intentionally haven't learned that dance.
Why?
I have a confession. I haven't learned it because I don't know if it's the music or the artist, but I get this down emotional feeling from it to the point where I can't touch it.
Okay,
I wanted to.
So did you not handle something with care?
No. It's not even that. It's just if you listen to the music, it's a heavy feeling I get from it. I promise you. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I tried to overlook it and this, that, and the other, but it's this energy that come along with it that I just couldn't touch it. I couldn't even take my time to even learn the dance and everything else. And so I was like, I'm gonna have to pass on this one. I just recorded what she's doing.
Regina said go. Regina said go time out, Marquise.
Time out.
Hey, Eugenia.
So, we all interpret and what's the word? We filter things based on our own experiences.
Correct.
And so maybe your life has been such that you know nothing about that. And so when you hear it, it brings you down. For me, it's a reminder. Gotcha. Not another. No, what you will do is handle me with care. And it's not just from a relationship like male, female, it's period. It's work, it's line dance, it's you will handle me with care because I demand that respect. Now, if you choose to disrespect me, I can't control that, but I can control how I deal with it.
That's what's up. So I'm going to assume, and correct me if I'm wrong, when it comes to music, you listen to lyrics mostly than the actual. No, what? Okay, thank you. I thought it was special.
The rhythm hits me first.
Okay.
And you can ask most of my friends. I don't really know the lyrics to songs until I force myself. Like Victoria, she was like, "Have you listened to the words to that song?" And I'm like, "Yeah, words."
I know, right?
But no, certain songs will pull me in. As Chris Blue says, lyrics matter. They do, because to me, not only is it the music that touches your soul, but there's so much packaging in the lyrics. And with me also being a poet, like a Jill Scott, I hear her lyrics.
Okay.
I hear Erykah Badu's lyrics, but I think it's also because it's from a poetic place. And like I said, as a fellow poet, it resonates with me. A lot of this, trap music or whatever, I don't hear a single word. Like on T-Pain's new dance, Baddest. Oh. I did not know they were saying she got new TNA, so she's a 10 now. I didn't know that. Because for me, it's the rhythm. It's the rhythm.
Right.
So, it depends on the song, Marquise.
I feel you. I agree.
That's good. So do you you showcase?
Showcase what? I showcase my art. Okay. I showcase my paintings and the different things that I make from an art perspective. Okay. I don't showcase with line dancing. I've been in 2 showcases.
Okay.
And I was so nervous, I thought I was going to throw up. So most people, and even when I say it, most people don't believe it, I am truly shy. I have an extremely shy side. Now, when I'm teaching and I'm in teacher mode, that's why when people come to my class, probably it's not the fun, loosey-goosey. I'm not entertaining. I'm there to teach. And so it's very because that otherwise my nerves are like, Right. So no, I don't showcase. And when you see me zone out and it looks like I'm showcasing, I'm zoned out. I'm feeling the music. There's nobody else in that room but me at that moment.
Right.
Wow. Jeff said Leos are shy.
A lot of people are. Really, believe it or not, I have a lot of Leo friends. We are viewed as very flashy and flamboyant, but deep down inside, to me, most of us, we have a shy side, especially those of us that are August Leos. I can't speak for the July Leos, but a lot of August Leos I know are. We have that shy side. Okay. Until when we're around our people, the shyness is gone.
It's gone.
Or if you push us to the point where we got to tell you who we're with, the shyness is gone.
We really need more convincing, but thank you. We'll take that for now.
All I got is my word, brother. My word is all I got is my word.
DeMeria, I promise you, I got you. I feel you. It's like those people that are born after the 8th.
Dang, why do we always gotta keep going back?
They may have more. That shyness probably missed them. I really can relate to what you're saying because I am too. I'm very bashful.
Check this out, look, DeMeria. What you did was you recognized those who are Leos who are born in July versus August. She trying to separate Cancers who are still in the same month.
I don't know. Actually, you know what? We are a week apart, but we are completely different.
We're
Can
still
you
in the
tell?
same month. You know, you see that? How you separated the ones in July versus
I
August?
did.
She separating weeks within the same month.
Yes.
That's disrespectful.
My
Marquise,
dad's
are
on
you
the 10th. He's in the crew with y'all. He's July 10th, my dad.
Oh, see,
okay?
represent. Well, now I don't know because he after the 8th, so he ain't really in the crew.
No, was he? He's
So,
not shy.
whatever, he after the 8th. That's all we know.
Is he shy, DeMeria?
Huh, is my dad shy?
Yes.
I wouldn't say my dad is shy, but my dad is sensitive.
Okay.
But he's not going to
Marquise
wear that on his sleeve. He's never going to let you know. But
Marquise is too.
yeah.
We all sensitive.
Same way. He's very,
So check
very
this out,
sensitive.
D. Whatever, dude. I ain't messing with you. All right, so guess what? I wanted to say, hey, you. So I know when you do your DJing. Oh, and you DJing now. What up, though? Hey, yo. You put it out there, yo. I did my first set. It's
I
official.
did.
Now I'm gonna work on the blends. It's going down. His name is DJ DWD.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So here's the thing. So my brother, the music that we come across in line dancing is so unique. And he would listen, he said, oh my God, I need all that music. So he used to DJ and he no longer does. So when he found out I was doing my day parties, he said, well, if you want my equipment, just let me know. I was like, that. Right. Didn't know what to do with it.
Okay.
So I went down to Louisiana and I was visiting down there, and DJ Derek down with SB Steppers.
Okay.
He actually showed me how to do some stuff, and I was like, well, this is cool. And then my girlfriend Cheryl, her husband, DJ C, he was telling me a few years ago about beats per minute, and I was like, okay. I said, just play the next thing. He said, but I can't play it because the BPM ain't the same. I was like, yeah, just play it.
I know, right?
So, I've been doing these playlists, and that is my area of, I would say, strength, creating a playlist.
Okay.
Once my brother, he downloaded Serato on my computer. He said, play around with it. He said, because I still got this equipment for you. I said, but I really ain't trying to be a DJ, especially not in line dance. No, because I love to dance too much.
Right.
But I started, working on the playlist, trying to see how can I phase one in and one out. And that creative side, I was like, oh my God, I got a high right? Right. So I said, I got something for my people at the party, because for me, the most frustrating thing at my party with the playlist is I'm not there to push the next song. So if there's a gap, but we're so used to it now, it actually gives us a minute, go get a drink, kind of see, okay, well, what's next? What I realized doing it at the party, people didn't have time. They were leaving and
Right.
So it was fun. I will say that, and hats off to line dance DJs who do actively line dance, because it is hard to do both. And I told my students today, I said, we're going back to the playlist next Saturday. They were like, you're not going to DJ? I said, not at this party. No. Okay. I love watching them dance. I get a joy out of seeing them have fun.
Right.
But because it's also my outlet, I need to dance.
Okay.
I need to dance. And because I wasn't able to do both to a point of satisfaction.
Okay.
It's something I told, I was at an event once and I told Donald, Big Stuff. Okay. He said, what's wrong? I said, man, I'm leaving. I didn't get my line dance nut. He was like, what? I've never heard that in my life. I can't line dance to the point of some type of satisfaction for me.
Release.
Feeling empty. Yes, if I don't get that. And so that's what my party was for me. So when everybody else was gone, Crystal and Lakeitha stayed, and we danced probably 45 minutes to an hour just so I could. They were tired. They were done, but they did it because they knew I needed that wood. Okay. So no, I'm not a DJ. I will periodically.
Because you can do what Rondi do now. Rondi,
she'll probably get to the point where she's going to perfect it.
Rondi, well, thank you. Rondi was at my party. He said, see, because I'd be at the back of the room, I go running across. I was doing the Rondi. But I think, as I age, I understand that my body is changing. So a lot of the really the quick moves, the jerks, the turns, like the new dance by Ray and oh my God, I can see his face. The young one. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
I have a name on the tip of my tongue.
Robert, Ray and Robert.
Oh, you talking about the song called Joy and Soul. Joy and Soul.
Yeah. I love that dance, but some of those real quick turns, it's just for me. I'll have to look
modify,
at it
as always.
No, appreciate it, because the thing about me, if I learn it, I want to teach it, and my teaching style is I'm going to teach the choreography. If I mess it up, I'm going to come back and fix it. I try my best to give honor and respect to what that choreographer put to that music to a dime. I do. I will then show modifications. So for me to learn that dance means I have to give honor and respect to the choreographers, which means I might twist my knee out. So that's one, unfortunately for me right now, unless I look at it and can peel it back and figure out ways to do it in a healthy way for myself, it'll be one of those, I'll admire it from the seats. And
let me ask you that question though. I'm curious because it kind of brought up another question of mine. So and shout out to James, he the same way too. He feel the same way when it comes to learning to dance and learning it to the T and everything else. I'm a little indifferent at the same time. So I would learn to dance exactly the person created, the way they created it. And then just to show it to my class. So because I never want them to feel like it was taught to them incorrectly.
Right.
I mean, and it's out of respect of the choreographer. But then I will also show them modifications of ways that can be done.
Right.
And what happened is certain people would appreciate the modification to the point where they would do it that way versus the way it was created. You know what I mean? And so being that you're publicizing, when you start publicizing it, like, you go on Facebook or you go on YouTube or whatever like that, right. You're not doing it the exact way they created. You're doing it the modified way because it's more comfortable or more convenient for you and this, that, and the other. Right. So my question to you is, have you ever had experience where people say, hey, you're doing my dance wrong?
No. Well, I've had people say you started on the wrong count, but
that's different.
No, not again, because I hate to say I'm a perfectionist. But one of the things that, like I said, I really try to honor that choreographer. So for that first rotation, I try to stick with the choreography. Okay. After that, as they say, once you know the dance, you add your own ish.
Facts.
Every choreographer knows that. And so to be so, I will say, arrogant to the point where you want to stifle someone's creativity in the middle of a dance.
Right.
It's no different than people sitting on the sideline. Why I gotta always turn? Why he gotta do all that? Because that's his style. That's what he does.
Right.
You know, if Spin Doctor can add 15 spins or Quan can add 30 spins and an 8 count, let him spin. Right. In his own world, doing his own thing. And so no, I've never had that. So my comment was more so when I'm teaching it, I put emphasis on this is the choreography. But let me show you, I'll show cheats that I found. I'll show modifications. Like today, I was teaching Love by Danny from TCH.
Okay.
She does a full, and it could be a double and a half spin, but in that same rock up, you can do a rock up, half turn, rock up, half, or you can just rock up, walk back, walk up. You're still going back to the front on an 8 count, in an 8 count turn.
Right.
People have different health, reasons why they can't spin or ankles, knees. So I try to always find modifications, but I tell them I'm obligated to teach you the choreography.
So this is what I'm gonna need from you, though, D. I'm gonna need this from you. I'm gonna need you because you talked about this a while ago. You say you can pretty much find a modification to majority of the steps out there. So we need you to go ahead and put together a YouTube video of modifications for the community. Because you see the same steps on a lot of these dances, and you see the same complaints to those same steps to a lot of these dances. So you're like, hey guys, instead of you spin, just do a 8 count or a 4 count or whatever count in the same place, and then you're good to go. And I know you teach it to your class, so you need to go and teach it to everybody else, because we don't know. Instructors too.
I got a slew of pandemic videos out there where I'm teaching that in my class.
We got to go through all that, man. We got to go through all that, man. We just want one video, man.
Or better state it. Pray about it, and when God taps me on my shoulder to add something else to my
He already did. He just used me to speak to you. Now you just
that's him talking to you, right?
I know God's voice.
All right, wait, the confirmation comes. Then I'm gonna say
Next question.
Hey, just so you know,
but I appreciate the confidence you have in me.
Definitely.
Well,
give a thumbs up if we wanted, people. If y'all see it. Anyway, check this out.
It ain't people. It's God. They need to pray to God.
God use us. God use us now.
He ain't listening to y'all.
See what I got you last time. Hey,
thank you, Regina. You're right. I'm not gonna do that.
So check this out. I did see somebody who took your list to a whole nother level. My people's James and Jackie. I don't know if you caught it because they were doing the beginner bash at the UC.
Yeah, I saw the list.
And did you see the stamps? They time stamped every dance.
Ooh, that's a lot of work. I ain't doing that either.
So I'm like, if they thought your list was extreme, you know what I mean?
When I first started doing my parties, I would do the name of the dance, the name of the choreographer, because again, I was all about educating people.
Right.
My schedule is so busy now. I will either take a screenshot or print out whatever the songs are, and you on your own. Right. But this party, because I'm focused on love and sexiness, I'm trying to pull dances that either have the title Love or Sexy in it, or the song has the title Love or Sexy, or it has a sexy feel to it. So I will probably put the name of the dance and the name of the song.
Okay.
I don't know about the choreographer because that's a lot of work. But yeah, it's a lot of work printing out the playlist. It's a lot of work creating the playlist, because for me, it's not just, okay, let me just put these dances. I really focus on a concept that SeGuan introduced to me maybe 4 or 5 years ago, to beginner, to intermediate, to advanced. Mm-hmm. And I remember he said he was going to do it at one of his parties. I showed up, I was ready. You think he did it? Nope. So I said, you know what? I'm doing it. And I haven't stopped. And not only do I try to focus on mixing it up, I try to look at, because I know ahead of time now with the wristbands, I know who's coming. Okay. So I try to spread it out so that certain people aren't just dancing at the beginning, they dance throughout. Mm-hmm. The thing that excited me about the DJing piece was what I've noticed over the years. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like I have an ear for what would be a good blend to come next. If it's got a Caribbean feel, okay, what can I kind of phase into it that still kind of has it? So yeah, that playlist, it takes me a minute because I compile, anytime you're doing, my parties were 6, they're now 7 hours. We're looking at anywhere from 70 to 120 dances, songs.
Wow.
Getting that list and then dividing beginner, intermediate, advanced. So it becomes 3 different catalogs, and then picking and choosing, okay, what goes with what? Okay, well, I know Rondi's going to come late. And that's the other thing I take pride in. I work really hard. If I know a choreographer is going to be at my party, I'm playing at least one of their dances.
That's what's up.
Period. Period. I do what I can to support Atlanta. There are 2 dances or several dances to Essence.
Okay.
If I teach one, I'm teaching Sakia's because she's here in Atlanta.
Right.
And that's my character. That's who I am.
I got you. You got 2 questions on here too, by the way.
Yes.
You got one question was, how long has she been painting? If that question hasn't been asked, that's by Yvonne Taylor.
So like I said, I started painting. Well, I've drawn my whole life, but I started painting 2003. Painted my first mural on my son's wall. And that's my testimony behind my gift. We lived in Texas at the time, and we had to move to Atlanta. And I didn't have a job at the time. I cleaned houses. I did whatever I could to help, my husband pay the bills. And I painted a new mural in my son's room here. And a contractor, he was an electrician, he came in, he said, "Oh my God, who painted this mural?" I was like, "What's a mural?" I didn't even know what it was. He said, "The stuff on the wall." I said, "Me?" He said, "Do you do it for a living?" I said, "No." He said, "Do you know how much money you can make?" I was like, "People pay people to paint on their walls?" I'd never seen it before. And I started, kind of saying, and one day I was in one of my most broken places that I'm not going to get into here, but I remember sitting on the bed in my son's room because he was only 2. And I felt the tears coming, and I literally heard God say, "Look to your left." So on one wall, I had all of his favorite cartoon characters. Well, on another wall, I would always try to somehow pay honor to God. So I had Noah's Ark, heels, and he said, "Turn." He said, "I've given you a gift. I need you to use it." And I was like, and he reminded me of what this guy had said. He said, "If you do what I say, I'll send you the customers." I said, "But I don't even have a business." He said, "Play it off your name." He said, "That's a mural. Your name is DeMeria. Name your company DeMurals and Designs." And so the name of my company is capital D, lower E, capital M, because it's connected to my name, and the M goes off into murals. And then Designs, DE, capital S, to connect to my middle name.
Oh, what's your middle name?
My middle name is SeGuan. SeGuan is not my last name.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah.
That's what's up. All this time.
So it is phonetically pronounced culturally DeMeria SeGuan.
I said it like that, and
Queen.
I felt like I went on checked the video last week. I was like, SeGuan. I tried to put the accent on it though.
No, her first name.
Oh, I knew how to say that. That was easy. It was the last name that was getting.
What's easy? What?
DeMeria. I was able to say that, man.
DeMeria. How's it pronounced?
DeMeria SeGuan, but I pronounce it DeMeria SeGuan.
See, I ain't put the accent on that part. You know what I mean? I just put it on the last name. Last name look like it deserved the accent.
Well, that ain't a last name. It's my middle name. And it's on my birth certificate, the D and the M are capitalized and the S and the G are capitalized. That's what my parents named me. But I wanted to finish answering the question. So I started with murals and later got into canvas painting. And I've been doing that.
Awesome.
Wow.
My last question, they said, how do you remember all these dances? I think that's a general question that everybody asks.
I don't. I pulled out, what was it? Anonymous Love. I know that dance, but today when I pulled it out to, refresh it for the party, I was like, couldn't recall it to memory. So what I tell my students, if you want to retain the dances, you have to do the dances. You cannot learn the dance and just now. You're my star. I've done that so much. I could probably do it I probably do it in my sleep. Okay. That's one that I probably would have to go several years without doing to forget. But everything else, if you're not doing it on a regular basis, it's gone. You don't use it, you lose it. And so that is how I keep up. Because I'm teaching, because I'm going back, digging in the crates, doing the dances we used to do, not just on all the new stuff. And, that's kind of my niche. I go back and teach what's new to my new students, but old to the rest of us has been in the game for a minute. But even those, my own dances, if I don't turn it on and do it, it's gone. And that's for anybody. So if you want to retain them, you've got to practice. And one of the most frustrating things for an instructor like me, if I am beating and getting these dances and teaching you 6 dances in a 2-hour window, and I'm doing this twice a week, every week, and you show up and you didn't practice.
Yeah.
We're not doing that part again. Next. I love you.
Okay, so Angela say, when do you have time in your busy schedule to do this?
To practice or to get ready for class? Because again, I'm kind of at an advantage because I'm getting ready for class. So that is my practice.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, it could be, if I take 15 minutes to eat my lunch at school, the other 15 minutes, turn on a song and I do the dance.
Right.
Wow.
If I'm in the grocery store, honestly, if I'm in the grocery store and I hear it in the background, I will stop what I'm doing and I'll do 16 to 24 counts. My daughter hates it, but I will do it.
Right.
So Natalie said, where are you located?
I'm in Atlanta.
What part?
Well, I live in Stone Mountain, but my classes are in Lilburn, which are right off of Highway 78. If you know where the actual mountain is, you can see the mountain from where my class is.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So what motivate you to create?
A dance. A dance.
Now, what
Yes.
motivates me now? If a song hits me. So I remember I was listening to Blue Lounge sometime during 2020, and Blues played P Fairy, P-U-S-S-Y. He played that by Janae, and I was like, oh my God, it's a beautiful song. Is there a dance to it? And folks were like, I don't know. And, I just let it just kind of sit. And then as we were getting ready for the party, it showed up on my playlist as sexy music. So I played it as I had a handful of students on, and I think Bridget was on. She came and taught her dance. She was a guest instructor. And I said, Bridget, is there a dance? And she said, nope, but you should make one. I was like, I don't know if I got time. Woke up the next day, and when I tell you that song would not leave my head, and I said, you know what? Let me do it. Let me do it for my students, for the party. And that's where my latest dance came from.
What would you do? What would you do if there was a dance for it? And let's just say hypothetically, in your opinion, the dance that was created, which I'm sure you've seen, doesn't do any justice for the music. And that song is constantly following you everywhere you go. Do you still not make a dance to it?
Well, quality is, it's relative. It's relative because I may not like it, but somebody else might. At the end of the day, because it is a community, it is about respect. So if there is a dance, I don't care who did it. For example, Essence, to this day, I hear Essence, and I wanted to create to that, but I was like, oh, my girl in Kentucky did it. Lisa, she already got one there. Sakia, and I was like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it's pulling me to do out of respect for the game.
Yeah.
So I always research first. I go to YouTube. I type the name of the song. I type the artist. I add line dance. I search. I go. I dig deep. I go to Line Dance Connect. I go to Universal. I go on Facebook. I type in the name of it, line dance. If I can't find anything, it's open game.
Well, put it like this then. Rephrase the question whether you like it or not. Let's just say there's a level to it. So let's say the level of that dance is beginner or vice versa. You still
I don't care.
Okay.
To me, that's like me. I see you find a dollar bill on the ground and it happens to fall out of your pocket right after you put it in. You're not looking. I'm gonna come over and pick it up and not give it to you. I'm gonna give you your dollar.
Right.
You beat me to it.
I got you.
Love it.
I gotta keep it.
Now, we got any shout outs?
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. We got a lot of shout outs, man. We got a lot of shout outs out here and everything. Yeah, we shouting out DeMeria for coming through in the time.
Absolutely. Do you all know that we are over our hour?
Oh, man. You should have
started. Wow. That went by fast. And I was nervous.
Where? It didn't show. Oh, my goodness. You have been great. You have been great. You have any shout outs that you would like to give?
Me?
Yes.
Well, I've already kind of did a shout out to Steph for, taking me under his wings back when I first started teaching. Definite shout out to James Carr. James would teach my dances when nobody else would teach my dances. Big supporter. Shout out to Rondi. Rondi told me that I saved his life in line dancing during this pandemic. Rondi comes to my party every month, like clockwork. But ultimately, my biggest shout out goes to my dedicated, committed students who have fought through this pandemic. They've learned all types of dances. And shout out to those people who consistently come to my day party every month, whether it's from Tennessee, North Carolina. Shout out to my supporters, the people who really, really are in my corner.
Awesome.
That's my shout
Thank
out.
you. Great.
Thank you, Rena.
And we also have to give a shout out to our viewers. And as you already said, to James Carr, we want to give a shout out to what is that? Feet in Motion. The
Adrian.
line. Yes, Adrian.
Yes, that's my girl.
Shantae Porter for tuning in. My girl Rhonda Gain Coleman. I tell you, Rhonda even got a community award.
Oh, cool.
Holding it down during
she putting in that work. So look, Stefan is getting ready for his swaggies in June. I was the last instructor of the year back in 2019. If I had any say in making nominations, I would nominate Rhonda. She's been doing the doggone thing.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So if I was passing the torch to someone, that's who I would want to give it to. But hey.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm with you. I couldn't do nothing but applaud. I'm like, dang it, man. She on this thing faithful.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, what? She gave us 4 days a week.
It felt like 5 and a Saturday.
Right. And sometimes she'll come. I mean, and she was consistent.
Yes.
Consistent with it. And I'm like, girl, you my girl.
She's patient. I mean, if you can't learn from Rhonda, I hate to say you can't learn, but I didn't like how that was coming out, but I'm very transparent. If it comes up, it's coming out. I gotta say who I am.
Yes, an awesome instructor. And so a shout out to everybody that have tuned in. Our lady from London, Marquise, go on hit it.
Carla Gray. Carla Gray.
Yes. Gray sister. Is that Natasha's sister, Carla?
No. I think Carla is from London.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But I could be wrong because we just learned
that's right.
We just learned your last name ain't SeGuan, so I could be.
That's true. That's true.
Right.
Yes. So, are there any other announcements? Because you just announced that your event that you have or your party that you have. Are there any other announcements that you all know of?
Well, I know mine. Mine are every first Saturday unless something else is going on. But I've been doing these parties for 5 years. So January was actually the 5-year mark, January 7th. So I'm pushing out to May. I think I'm doing it May 7th. That's my 5-year celebration of doing the line dance parties. But next year is my 10 years teaching. So I'm going to do my first weekend event. I'm still debating on if I'm going to make it public or private because I also know the weekend I chose is typically STL's party weekend, and it's not a competition thing. It's just that July 7th, 7/7. That's a date that is significant for me. So it's going to be July 7th through the 9th. Once I decide if it's going to be open or closed or whatever, I'll put it out there. But I did do a save the date.
Okay.
But yes, tons of events going on. TCH just posted their swag event registrations opening February 2nd, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody is getting back into the swing of things. I'm still waiting on James.
Me too.
That's one of the most fun parties. Rondi's party, hands down. That's one. If I can go, I'm there every year. James, yeah. Thank you, Angela. I'm gonna hold you to that.
Okay, so that means that it's not private. Since you're gonna hold Angela to it.
Well, here's the thing: Angela will be on the private invite list.
Oh, okay.
But this is a public thing right now. It's a public thing right now.
Right.
Well, look, here's the thing though. A lot of the people I'm seeing on here, they're in my supporter circle. Alexa, Regina, James,
No, check
Angela.
the lead. There's people on here seeing this that you don't even know that's watching this because they sure came up to me during the UC. I ain't never seen you comment.
That's fine. This can be seen internationally by some folk over in Italy. Guess what?
So, Marquise, maybe we can make the list.
Well, yeah.
Maybe, we're gonna pray to God and ask the Lord to give us favor.
Right.
You talk about announcements of events. Katrina, I believe, has put together a conglomerate list of all the events in the community. So if you want to know what's going on, hit Katrina up.
Yeah, it's on the Universal Line Dance page, actually, if you go there.
Yeah.
Miss Daniels. We got to get her on here, Marquise.
Ooh, hope you ready. Hope you ready for Lady T.
So again, we want to say thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I love your spirit. I love you as the person that you have shown to be. You just, wow. That's me.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
And I do love it. And you act like you should be born in July.
Okay. 8/18. I'll give you the 7 with 1970. That's about as close to the 7. 7 is my favorite number,
Okay.
Yes. So, Marquise, you have anything?
Oh, announcements. Yeah. So, the announcement we got right now. First, tomorrow is the last day for the Advanced Challenge. Starting on Tuesday will be the next challenge. So I hope you're ready. No excuses, people. I talked to y'all personally this weekend, so you ain't got no excuses. And also, for those who are in the Tampa Bay area, we have our next monthly event on Thursday. Thanks, DeMeria. I do appreciate your assistance with that. I do appreciate. And we're going to be making that happen as well, too. So 7 to 10, like I said before, all beginners, all levels are welcome. We're going to be learning. We're going to be dancing. We're going to be laughing, drinking, and eating, and all that other crazy stuff. So just be ready to have fun because we got a lot of energy for y'all on this weekend. So that's what's up.
Is there a dance that you would like to recommend for this week, DeMeria?
I put a challenge dance out there for my event. So the theme of my event is love and sexiness. And I came up with it because Joe's dance, Chemistry, that song kept playing in my head. It's by Joe and Kelly Rowland, Love and Sex.
Mm-hmm.
That's my challenge dance, Chemistry. Look it up. So I told folks, that's the theme dance for my party. And I'm expecting the floor to be full. The dance name is Chemistry. It's by Joe Shaw out of Detroit.
That's what's up.
Nice dance. And it's not a classic, but it's kind of at least 5-6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Awesome. And please don't forget to, if you haven't, please go out and subscribe to us on YouTube and Facebook. And again, here's a big thank you in advance. If you have students, if you're watching and you have students, please encourage them to do the same. If you would like to make a donation to this podcast, please cash out the LDC. And
trivia question.
I was gonna skip it, man. We 15 minutes over.
They weren't gonna let us get it. I'm just bringing it up because you said you want to be held by word,
Queen did, yeah.
You know she called it.
Trivia break. Go on and give it, Marquise.
All right, so I'm gonna keep it simple, y'all, because we ain't got much time. So, question is, what is her last name? No, I'm just playing.
Some people know it though. Some people know it.
All right, but the question is, she says she's a teacher. What level grade she's actually teaching.
Okay. Ooh. And I guess while they are thinking about it, what's the best dance routine you've seen?
Ooh.
You talking to me?
Yep.
Yes.
The
I'm sorry.
That's
So
hard.
You got two answers. One, well, honestly, we ain't gonna keep yours, Angela, because that's a question. It ain't even an answer. All right. So one said second grade. Angela said ? Middle school, and Adrian Wood said elementary students.
Adrian better know it. K through 5.
There we go.
K through 5.
There we go. Awesome.
Listen.
Do you want me to answer that question?
No, you don't.
Okay. Well, I will say this. To me, outlined by Erica, that is a very well choreographed dance. Miko's dances, you can tell she's got dance at least in her background. But just to pick one, that's a tough one for me.
Yeah.
That's a tough. I've got a top 10 list that I love, but there's so many just awesome dances and choreographers out there. You know, I don't like name dropping, but you know, it's some nice dances out there. I taught a really beautiful one today by Sonia Baker out of Detroit called Suave Hustle. Beautiful dance, beautiful, and it's so many of them. It's hard to narrow it down.
Awesome.
Well, again, DeMeria, it has been a pleasure, and thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry, viewers. I know that we have gone over our hour, but this was so good, and Marquise just would not leave it alone. So he had like he was so tired, but you know what, DeMeria, he had to be here because
I told her I was going. I said I was gonna be. I got to catch. I wanted to rap with him, man. I couldn't just let him be on.
I appreciate it.
That's
exactly. And hello to all the people that were saying, "Hey, I saw him pop up, but we were talking." So hello, everybody. You know, I love you guys.
Thank you. And so if anyone that is watching would like to come on to Let's Talk Soul Line Dance, please text the number that you see at the bottom of the screen. If you have any recommendations, feel free to do that as well. Give that as well. And until next time,
real quick, Zandra, don't forget to tell Adrian where she need to send her text to.
Yes, thank you. Adrian, please text this number. Don't call it, just text it. 813-407-1216. And you will receive your prize. Okay. Thank you again for those that participated. And I almost thought you was throwing up the A sign.
No, I love you. I'm also a sign language interpreter.
See, she understood what it means.
I understand. I know it. Marquise, I know what that is.
You be like, what the hell?
So they put theirs together, okay? And so
yeah, you be trying me though. I'm like, what, you got arthritis or something?
Y'all are funny.
Whatever. You know what? But okay, get it together. So please text that number again and you will receive your prize. And hey, tune in next week. We should have Mr. Bryson Bernard on. Mr. Cupid should be here on next Sunday. Okay. Listen out, tune in. If you have questions for him, don't hesitate to put them in the chat as you did with DeMeria on tonight. And until then, please, everyone, stay safe. COVID is real. And I pray God's protection and blessing upon each family, upon Queen. And again, just thank you. So until next time, DeMeria, I'm looking for Marquise. Maybe we done made the list by now. So We may get a chance.
I'm just hoping. Somebody asked. Angela said, "Was it 2022 or 2023?"
It's 2023.
Okay, cool.
So how about we start with this? Come to one of my day parties. Show me. Put your money where your mouth is.
Dang. Gotta do all that.
All right.
One day.
So look, how far are you? You what? That's about 2 hours from Montgomery, Alabama.
Oh, you ain't got no excuse there.
Oh, I'm not sure. I've not been to Montgomery, but I got family in Alabama. I don't know. How close are you to Huntsville?
Oh,
I don't know. Let me not.
Is at least
We're 2 hours from Birmingham.
Okay, so yeah, so Birmingham is like an hour and a half from us.
You can be to me within 4 to 5 hours. It's worth it. Come on.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yep.
I hear you. Did you say on Fridays?
No, it's Saturday.
Saturday.
Actually, I googled it. You in Alabama, so it's about roughly close to 3 hours, depending on how fast you drive.
Oh, come on, girl.
I didn't ask you to do me no favors.
I just googled that for you. Good. I wanted to take the map out. I see you was thinking, trying to figure it out. You good? It's only 3 hours.
Well, look, how about Tampa? Ain't about what, 5?
6.
Oh no.
Oh, it's okay. It's
6.
okay.
6.
Come on anyway.
I mean?
Come on.
Right.
I mean,
No,
ain't
it's
good
6
right now
hours for about 8 hours. But Marquise, okay, what a love it.
Huh? I'm sorry. What do you say?
What a love it.
I'm looking forward to it.
We meet there.
I'm going to
meet there.
I'm going to surprise you.
People, it has been a pleasure. Yes, it's been a pleasure. And you know what? I can't wait to meet you, DeMeria, okay? Mm-hmm. And all goes well. I pray to God it will be soon. And until next week, y'all, Marquise and I will see you right here at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a good night.
All right.
Bye, guys. Thank you.